It's kind of wild, man. Last year when you and I, with Dan Orlovsky, were in the booth in Frankfurt, Germany for Chiefs and Dolphins, the conversation was, well, who have the Dolphins really beaten yet? And then we wound up still asking that question by the end of the year. And then the Chiefs, it was the beginning of their issues scoring in the second half. And that led to a narrative all season long of, yeah, well, are they going to ever really be able to flip the switch to repeat? And we got the answer. And it seems like, again, another season of wondering if a flip of a switch is going to happen for a three-peat. And it looks like they've already flipped it, Jason. I'm not going to lie. It looks like they're finishing up strong enough here. I would love to get your thoughts on that subject matter.
Absolutely. And it almost seems like it's not fair. You looked at him all throughout this season and you're saying, well, it's going to be the tackle position that holds them back. There's no way they can win a Super Bowl with what they have on the outside with Wanye Morris and Suamataia. They're not going to be able to figure out that left tackle spot, Juwanta. And then they just moved their all-pro guard, Joe Tooney, over to left tackle. And he just has to block Myles Garrett and all of these Max Crosby and all of these guys, and then gets Watt and Highsmith. And he just continues to hold down the fort. And I agree with you. You get Hollywood Brown back, Jalen Watson. He's just been the cornerback on the other side. He's just been activated to come back from IR as he opens up his practice window. It seems like everything is clicking at the right time. And the more I watch the Kansas City Chiefs, the more I continue to say to myself, there's so many teams throughout this league that they find ways to lose games. We look at it every single week. Matt Eberflus is no longer in Chicago. We criticize everything that they were doing at the end of the game. Raheem Morris just lost a game where he said in retrospect, he probably should have used his timeout. And you just look at the way Kansas City wins football games. The Raiders have them beat. They fumbled a snap at the very end of the game. They block a field goal kick against the Denver Broncos. They are not going to lose the game. They're going to go out there and make the plays in crucial time. And that has a lot to say about Andy Reid and his coaching staff. They figure out ways to win. And now everything is starting to click. They're getting healthy. It's scary hours, I think, for the rest of the league because we still haven't seen the best from that man this season. Patrick Mahomes, those signature deep throws and all of that. He continues to show up in the clutch moments, but Kansas City, they're looking a lot better now as the season's coming to an end.
Yeah, the next time we see 15 will be on divisional playoff weekend, and we'll have to obviously wait and see who they're going to get. In the meantime, part of the wait and seeing is that 7 seed in the AFC, and with all due respect to Denver and Miami, I would proffer to say the 6 teams that are in the tournament for the American Football Conference right now would least like to see Joe Burrow and the Bengals show up in their building. So I will ask you this. We need to see the Bengals beat the Steelers first for the Cincinnati to make it. And then they need both Denver and Miami to lose. Denver and Miami take on the Chiefs and the Jets together in the late window on Sunday. If the Bengals lose on Saturday night, the Dolphins can get in. If the Broncos lose, obviously, if the Broncos win, the entirety of my setup is totally moot. They're in. My question for you is, what do you think happens? You have to choose for me, Jason McCourty. The 7 seed for the AFC playoffs will wind up being fill in the blank, please.
Well, I like the Bengals to win, so I think Sunday is going to matter that much more.
Okay.
I think at the end of it, I think the Broncos are going to be the team that gets in. I do think they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I think they had them beat when the Chiefs were at full strength and got that field goal blocked. So I look at this, the Chiefs aren't going to play a lot of their guys. And I think with Sean Payton, he finds a way to win this game. But I agree with you, Rich. I think the Bengals are the scariest team because of what Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and those guys offensively have been able to do. The fact that they even have a chance at the playoffs with how bad their defense has been this season gives a ton of credit to them. And I would love to see Burrow get in there, but I honestly don't think it's going to happen this year.
That said, who's your MVP then, Jason McCourty? What do you got?
Josh Allen. And I think if they had the wins, then, yeah, he'd probably be at the top of the list. I think he's in the conversation. But I don't think a team with 9 wins, I don't think the MVP should come from their team when you look at what Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and Saquon Barkley even have done this season on winning football teams. So I have Josh right now. I think narratives matter as much as people want to remove it and only look at the stats and look at this and that. I think with the Buffalo Bills, when you looked at it this offseason and Stephon Diggs is traded to Houston, and you're saying, well, you know what, this is going to be kind of a reset for the Buffalo Bills. They lost Poyer, they lost Hyde, so many guys on the defensive side of the ball that they're going to try to restructure and figure things out. And the next thing you know, we're looking at a team that had their division wrapped up, it seemed like, the third week of the season with how the rest of those teams have played. And Josh has been an instrumental part, spreading the ball around and doing the things that he's done this year. He's made history as well. So right now, I definitely would say it's Josh Allen.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.